Hey guys, we're going to go over the quiz review for statistics. So let's go to slide 2. This is a dot plot. We're going to find our mean, median, mode, and range from here. So remember, for mode, it's the number that repeated the most often. So in a dot plot, that's really easy. You look for which number had the most dots above it, which right here we can see that number 4 had 3 dots. So our mode is 4. It's not 3. It's not how many dots there were. It's what number it was over. Remember, each dot represents that number. What's the range? Remember, range is how spread out the data is. So your biggest number minus your smallest. So 7 minus 0, which is 7. So my range is 7. Your mean, remember, you are going to add up all your numbers and divide by how many numbers there are. You're finding your average. My helpful hint is I like to add the rows, like each column of numbers, and then go back and add all those. So 0 plus 0 is 0. In my 4 column, I have 3 4s, so 4 plus 4 plus 4, or 4 times 3 is 12. Here's 5. I have 2 6s, which is 12, and 2 7s, which is 14. So now on my calculator, I can just do 0 plus 12 plus 5 plus 12 plus 14. I am getting 43, but then it's divided by how many numbers there are. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dots. So 43 divided by 10. Again, use your calculator, which is 4.3. It is totally fine for it to be a decimal. We'll ask you to round if it needs to. Okay, next would be our median. Remember, median is your middle number. A couple ways you could do this. First, you could list out each number, each piece of data. So like, remember, each dot is a piece of data, the number it's over. So it would be 0, comma 0, comma 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Each of these dots is a number over here. And then I can cross them off, working my way into the middle. So cross those off, those two, until I get here. I've got 2 numbers in the middle. Remember, when that happens, you can think, what is right in between these two? If they're nice, easy numbers, these are pretty easy. If they're not easy, though, remember, add the 2 numbers together. So 4 plus 5, which is 9. And that's like you're finding the mean of those 2 numbers. So then divide by 2, which is 4.5 or 4.5. So our median is 4.5. Real quick, another way you could do it is not even listing out the numbers. If you can handle it, you can just cross off the dots until you find what's in the middle. Just be really careful that you cross off the right things. You finish a row before you move to the next row over. So it'd still be 4 and 5 in the middle, and in between that is 4.5. Okay, number 5, what fraction of the state's percent is 6% or higher? So when I look on my graph, 6% or higher would be these, all of these on the side, so there's 4 of them. Out of how many total dots? 10. And let's go ahead and simplify that. Those are both divisible by 2. So our fraction would be 2/5. 2/5 of this is 6% or higher. Next, what percent of the state is 5% or lower? Okay, same idea. Here's 5% or lower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10. I start with the fraction, but it asked me to find a percent. So remember, we're going to set this up. 6 over 10 equals percent over 100. And then we always cross multiply. 6 times 100 is 600. And then divide by the leftover number. So divide by 10, which is 60. So 60% of the state is 5% or lower. Finally, how many are less than 4%? I was just saying how many, so like how many actual dots are less than 4. So here's 4. I want the things less than that. Well, there's 2 dots over there, so 2 are less than 4. All right, now let's look at this frequency table. So how many students earned lower than an 80% on their test? So right here is 80%. Anything lower than that, that's these grades. So 5 plus 2 plus 0, 3 plus 2 plus 0 is 5. So 5 students earned lower than 80%. How many students earned 89 to 80% right here? 7. And how many students earned a 95 on the test? Exactly a 95. So I can see right here from 100 to 90 is 10 students, but it doesn't give me exact data. It just tells me that there are 10 students in that range. So since it doesn't give me the exact numbers, we have to say that it's unknown, right? We don't have enough information. It could be all 10 of those people. It could be none of them. It could be anywhere in between. We don't know. So unknown. Okay, looking at this data, the Gladiators girl basketball team, these are their scores. So we want to find median, mode, and range. So to find our mean, we're going to add these up and divide by how many there are. I'm going to kind of chunk it. I'm going to add those, and then add those two numbers together just so I don't get lost typing things in my calculator. So 77 plus 81 plus 84. This is 242. Clear. And then on my other side, 69 plus 78 plus 75 plus 82, I get 304. And then I'm just going to add those two numbers. So 304 plus 242, which gives me 546. Okay, that's not my final answer though, right? That's my total. Now I'm going to divide by how many numbers there were. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 546 divided by 7, use my calculator, and I get 78. So their average score was a 78. Now let's find the median. So to find the median, remember we're going to find the middle number, but before we can do that, we have to relist these so we have them least to greatest. I'm going to do it up here where I've got some extra space. So least to greatest, so 69, cross it off. Then there's a 75. 77, 78, 81, 82, and 84. And I should have 7 numbers still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Now remember we cross them off on the outside, working our way to the middle. So that and that, cross that and that, that and that, and there's my center. 78 is my median. Mode, remember, is the number that repeats the most often. So if I look back at my original numbers here, there were not any that were repeating. So you will say no mode. Do not say 0. 0 makes me think that your data has a lot of zeros in it, since that's a number, and it doesn't. Okay, finally, range. Remember your biggest minus your smallest. So we had 84 minus 69. Use your calculator. 84 minus 69, which gives me 15. That is our range, how spread out our data is. Okay, now looking at this histogram, how many fewer customers had to hold 65 to 80 minutes than 95 to 100 minutes? So before I do anything with histograms, the first thing I like to do is just write the numbers on it so I can easily tell how much is in each bar. So here, this is a 4, 4, 8, 3, and 1. Okay, so now I'm looking 65 to 80, it's right here, so that's 8. And 95 to 100 is right here, so 1. And I want to know how many fewer, which is like difference, so 8 minus 1, which gives me 7. Okay, next question, what fraction of the customers had to hold 80 to 95 minutes? 80 to 95 is right here, that's 3 people, but I want a fraction, so 3 out of how many total? I'm just going to add these up. So 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 3 out of 20. I can't simplify that fraction, so 3/20 is my answer. Okay, next, what percent of the customers hold from 50 to 65 minutes? 50 to 65 is right here, so it's 4 out of the 20 people. We want to percent those. So remember, we're going to set it up equal to something out of 100. And we're going to cross multiply. So 4 times 100 is 400. And then divide by our bottom number, divide by 20. 400 divided by 20 equals, let's see, use your calculator. 400 divided by 20 equals 20. Okay, and it was percent, so 20%. All right, looking at this box plot, what is the interquartile range for spring temperatures? Remember, interquartile, think about inner quartile, inside the quartiles. So for spring, I'm talking about right here. So from 55 up to 75, we're going to do 75 minus 55, and we'll get 20 for our IQR, or interquartile range. What is the median for the summer temperatures? Median for summer, median is the middle, so right here in the middle of the box was 80. Which box plot had a greater range? So these are not super easy to tell, so I would maybe do a little bit of math here. So for spring, it's from 80 to 50. 80 minus 50 would give me 30. And then for summer, it was from 60 up to 95. So 95 minus 60, which gives me 35. So the greater range, the one that was spread out more, was summer. 35 was larger than 30. Okay. And then last one, what percent of the temperatures for summer are between 75 and 95? So from 75 up to 95, what percent? Remember, each of these quarters is 25%. So this is 25, this is 25, this is 25. So there's 1, 2, 3 of those pieces. That would be 75%. All right, what is the lower quartile for the temperatures in spring? Lower quartile is right here, the lower part of the box, 55. What percentage is between 50 and 70 for the spring temperatures? From 50 to 70, that's 1, 2 of the sections, 1, 2. Each of these are worth 25, so that is 50% altogether, half the data. And then compare and contrast the box plots. So here our answers are going to vary. Think about different ways that they are similar or different. I'm not going to be able to go through every possible answer, but a few things you could mention are things like how the upper quartile for spring matches the lower quartile for summer. And that's kind of showing us how much higher the temperatures are in summer than spring. You could talk about the medians and how they compare to each other. You could talk about how the interquartile ranges compare. I think that would be a really good one because this is way more spread out and this is a little more compact. Make sure you're using some good vocabulary though, comparing two pieces and giving me just some sort of good sentence for that. And that is it, guys.